Okay, I'm calling the meeting to order today, November 12th, for the Madison Park Board. Thank you for being here. First order of business is the approval of the minutes from last month.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor of accepting the minutes as presented, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Questions about any of the claims for this month?
Not anymore.
Yeah, I think Tanya answered the question we all had.
Okay, so then I need a motion to approve those claims.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
All those in the favor of accepting the claims as presented, say aye.
Aye.
Aye also, thank you very much. Now let's talk rates for the new year. We have a proposed rate schedule.
It's not approved yet.
Yeah, right, since it's not approved, but I guess it'd be nice if we had like the city council and could put it up on the screen. Our fees for the Sunrise Golf Course all come from the golf board, the guys that play and know. And so we pretty much trust them and take their word for it. Jake, do you have a few things to add since you're on that board?
Sure. So the golf board is comprised of myself, which sort of operates as the bridge between the two boards. And my perspective also comes as a golf coach of 11 years and being around Sunrise for a long time. There's two members on the golf board, a female on the golf board. She might be a member too. And then Tanya's there, Roger's there, Christian's there, and we all sort of, especially when it came to the fees, took us 2 or 3 tries to land on this number. And we had to look at, once again, trying to get as close as possible to breaking even and without losing any play. And also what we figure is fair for the product that we offer in the area that we are. And so if anybody were to sort of scoff at these numbers, it's never fun to raise prices on anything. So we're just, it's almost sort of like a cost of living increase a little bit for Sunrise, as well as trying to get things back in line with where they need to be with some of the services we provide, like our public carts allowed on the course and trail fee and things like that. So the numbers we came to were taken into consideration on where we can get to help pay the bills, keep the lights on, basically.
Jake, can I ask you, we have 2 sheets, but I'm assuming the updated one we just got, are those the numbers that were approved by the golf board at their last meeting?
Yes, sir. The new numbers, which are unfortunately slightly higher, but we can't keep operating at the deficit that we're operating at, which everybody recognizes.
So do you want to give a quick synopsis of the rates that are going up, like the major changes, not $1 here or $1 there?
Well, everything is just like a slight increase, around 5%. Probably one of the bigger increases might be the private cart trail fee. Largely, the argument was, and my argument is that it is a premium service we offer here that nobody else really allows, their own private carts on the golf course. So if we're going to allow that premium service, then we should probably, do that as a premium price. And our members, at least our members on the board, sort of agreed that we could possibly be losing money on the private cart and them being allowed on the course, so they were amenable to raising that price incrementally.
So that's the only one that really would stand out, you're saying? Everything else is...
I would think so. Everything else, like I said, is just a small little bump. And as everybody knows, everything's kind of, in the last couple of years, gone up. So we're just kind of staying in line with that for the most part. Still trying to get to that number that continues to keep the golf course operational.
Okay, anything else about golf?
I do have one question.
Okay.
Where it's, and maybe this is for Roger, I don't know. Or you, either
Okay,
one.
yeah.
Single season pass with annual cart trail fee, that's private cart, not a cart at the
Yes,
course,
we-
right?
Yes, we do not have a program to use our cart, one fee with
Okay.
our cart.
I just wanna
That's-
make sure.
That's your own personal cart.
Okay.
The other thing I'd like to point out on those raises, I guess it's a cost of living thing. When people come out of town, half the time the response is, when we tell them how much it is, they said, does that include a cart? Which tells me out-of-town people expect to pay a little bit more. So I tried to focus those increases to that customer. Being on weekends primarily was the biggest increase in the daily rates. The senior rate through the week, that's typically a Madison customer. Really, I consider that a fixed income customer because they're playing through the day, which we kept that rate all the same. And then also the league rate, we kept the same at $20. That's something I'm going to be really pushing hard this year. It's a pretty big commitment to play in a league, if you think about it. You're committing to play, 12 to 16 times throughout the summer, so I think that should be a bulk rate discount for that customer that commits to play in the league. Any other questions?
I don't, thank you.
I'll just
For
add
mine.
that we had a figure in mind of roughly $600,000, and
Yes.
we used these figures to get to that $600,000 area. Right, so using the historical data from past play, the idea is that these are the numbers that'll get us where we need to go for the most part. We still need, I think we're, our afternoon play is lacking, so he talks about league play. So I think if we can get a little increase in league play and so that place is not so barren in the afternoons, then I think we might be able to finally get where we need to go.
So did you use like an average of so many years or?
Yeah, so we took the last, I don't know, 3.
3,
Yeah.
okay.
And then just kind of looked and then put the numbers in. This is how many rounds we get. This is the figure. This is the price.
Okay.
That's where we go.
And the volume there too. So these increases are assuming we do the same amount of rounds this year, next year as we did this year.
At least.
Which I am hoping to do more,
Right.
expecting to do more.
Right.
18,000 rounds is where we computed this year, and we fell short of that. We only did 16,000 rounds. So, industry standard for a public facility is probably over 20,000 rounds. So we've got some room to grow, I believe.
Thank you. All right, let's move on to Crystal Beach. And there have been a couple of proposed rate increases. The general admission stays the same, $7. We did change the age, or we are considering, we haven't done it yet, they are proposing that we charge 5 and up. So like if you're old enough to go to school, then you're old enough to pay to get into the pool. So before, I think it was 6 and up, is that right? So we just included the ages 5 and older would pay the $7. But it's not a rate increase, we just lowered the age 1 year.
Kindergartners have good jobs.
Individual pass from $175 to $200. The discount card from $85 to $100. The discount card is you get 20 punches. I would like to see that one go to $100 instead of $110.
Yeah. Okay. You said 100 there.
Okay, sorry. That's because in my dream world, I want it to be 100. senior pass from 100 to 125, and then party rentals. And we're still trying to find our sweet spot in the party rentals. We had it too high the first year at $800, and we had like no parties. And then this year we had 600, and we were almost every weekend we had parties going on. So we're considering raising it to 650, just trying to find what's fair and also profitable for us. And then Hunter Hall rental from 400 to 450 for a 6-hour time slot, and full day Hunter Hall from 600 to 650. The ones that I'd like to reconsider, again, are the discount punch. I'd like to make it just increase $15 instead of $25. I think that's a really good option for families. They want to go to the pool 4 or 5 times. They get that punch card for $100, and they can go 4 or 5 times for the summer. I want to make sure that we keep Hunter Hall rental below everyone else. I think that's why it's used all the time, is because we are a good deal. And I feel like it's a good service to our community, that it is affordable. I'm not saying don't raise it, but I don't want to raise it to where we're almost as much as everybody else. I still want to be lower. Does anybody else have any thoughts on the Crystal Beach pricing?
I don't know, I'm probably with you on the discount card price. That's a 23% increase. That's quite a bit.
Phil?
I'm just looking at the senior annual pass going from 100 to 125.
Also big.
You'd like to see it left at 100?
No, but I could see like 115 if everything else, as everything else grows.
Okay.
Just looking across the board, some are raised, some are not, some are slightly raised.
And I understand the cost of living thing, like our costs are more too, so things do have to go up a little bit.
So who put these numbers together?
I copied the numbers, and then the Parks Department, the team of 5 came up with the proposed numbers. Is that what you're referring to?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so.
Tanya, do you have a reason why you want to go to 110
Well,
for the
the
discount
20,
card?
the 20 punch card, for instance, was a lot of free visits. I mean, that's a really good deal. If you take 7 times 20, it's
140.
140. So, I mean, you're getting a lot of free visits for that. That's why we looked at that one.
I don't disagree. I think that's a great deal. How many did we sell those? You may not have that.
We don't have the exact number, but we
But we-
sold a lot.
yeah.
The ones we didn't raise, the family pass, we didn't sell a whole lot of the family passes. They were going with the punch cards. It was a lot better deal. And we had a lot of people just pay the daily rate, you know. They're working on getting me the numbers from rec. It didn't have just a report to tell me how many people.
I thought we'd seen those previously, maybe.
We did.
Yeah.
I told you we did, but I couldn't
I
remember
wanted
what
a total
report.
for the season, though, is what I was trying to get from them.
I think that was the season. I think it was 21,000 people that went to the pool. I think we announced that at
Individual
our,
visits, yeah.
I'm fine with the 110 on the discount card, I guess. I don't want to raise the senior pass $25 on our seniors.
well, we can do that.
What about the family pass? I know there's been a lot of discussion around that. If we're not selling very many, do we want to try something lower? That's,
Ding, 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 ding. I say yes. I think that's a sign that people think it's too much.
if we're selling a lot of discount cards, and that is a good deal. The family pass, I remember we talked about being any for family members, not for specific family members. At least that was the intention.
Yes. That you could bring your spouse and your kid's friend. We said just 4 people get admittance.
Well, if you bought 4 discount cards for your family at 20 punches, that would be $440.
What do you, I mean,
Do you
have
want
any
to lower
thoughts?
that one?
I mean, I could say 400. If we're not, I think we sold a handful.
Yeah, not,
And
everyone's just a
it-
few.
It was
not-
less than 10,
I mean,
yes.
we can always look at it the following year if we have.
Okay. So you thinking 400 or
Well,
425 or?
that's more, 400, more in line with the punch cards, and then people don't have to worry about the punch card as much,
And
but
leave the punch cards 110, seniors 115? Or you still want punch cards at 100?
I'm a cheapskate. Guys, overrule me if you want to.
I'd rather see the discount card at 100 because it is a discount card.
Okay.
Unless we start raising general admission 7, 8, 9, if we start raising it incrementally, I see the reason to raise then the discount card incrementally, but we're raising $25 when I mean, I know there's some free ones in there, but that's the point of a discount card. So, I mean, $85 divided by 7 is about 12 visits, and 100 divided by 7 is about 14 visits. So,
Sorry, Dave.
no, you're okay. I mean, it is a discount. That's the reason we're selling. Either that or we shouldn't sell them, I guess. But what do we sell the most of? Individual?
Yeah.
Okay.
By far.
Well, I think there has to be other options, whether they're good options or not, I don't know. That's the whole point of trying different things. But
Okay, so you think general admission 7, individual pass 200, family pass 400, discount card 100, senior pass 115.
Yes.
And I don't
I would be in
think,
favor of that.
I don't
Okay.
think we have to go much higher, because I feel like, no offense, anybody present, I feel like if the pool is managed better over the summer personnel-wise, I don't think we should have issues like we did. So I feel like monetarily, our passes and our options are in a good spot as long as the pool is managed correctly next summer.
Does anybody have any thoughts on the Hunter Hall rentals? And it stays
We're
busy,
still low.
correct?
We're still low.
We're still lower than everybody else? You've checked it out?
Not recently, but I did when we first set our prices, and we were way lower.
we're low if it's full, but I mean, being full is not a terrible thing.
Right.
I mean, raising it $50, I mean, what is regular 800? I mean, what are you comparing it to? I mean, other local
Correct.
venues similar?
Correct.
And they are, I mean, those are 800 to 1,000
Yeah.
probably.
Okay, I'll let that one go.
What was that one? Which one?
Hunter Hall.
The Hunter Hall half-day rental and full-day rental.
That's still really cheap, Carla.
Okay, so we'll just go with those 4 changes up top.
Yeah.
Or 3 changes, really.
Yeah.
Okay, Crystal Beach is done. Brown Gym and Rucker. Very few changes here. It's like walking pass, $5 increase. All of the walking passes. Pickleball, both part-time and full-time, $5. It's not a big deal. We did raise our league rates from $10 to $20. $10 is almost embarrassingly low. That's like the 1978 price. So I don't feel terrible about doing that one. Nothing else has changed on that. So basically, it's just a few $5 raises here and there in different passes. Does anybody have any comments on the Brown Gym Rucker fees? Okay.
Well,
Go ahead.
yeah, just, is it still just sort of like, once again, if we're going to use this phrase for the rest of the meeting, is that just a cost of living increase? Why are we raising
Yes,
it at all?
it is. And then youth sports programming fees. We did have to raise the tackle football because we were losing money because they require so much equipment and the helmets have to be like fixed every 5 years and we have to buy new stuff. So we did raise the tackle football from $75 to $100 and that was we're still just breaking even there. We're really not making money there. That's okay. We don't mind providing a service. And cheerleading, we had to raise too
Same.
because they get a uniform and the uniform prices have gone up. So we had to raise that again to break even. It went from $75 to $100. And everything else is just like a $5 increase. The swim lessons, can you explain why we needed to go from 50 to 75 on swim lessons? Was there a,
Because the cost was so low for the amount of time and the lifeguard pay, and we just were full, like, it was really cheap for the amount of time.
How much were the lifeguards getting paid, do you know?
Well, most of them get paid 15 an hour.
15 an hour?
Yeah, some of the other ones made more.
how many lessons do they
Managed.
get, do you know, for that money?
It's 2 weeks every day.
So 10?
Yeah.
Do they have
Eight-
lessons on
maybe not on
Fridays?
Friday, it was 8.
So 8 lessons?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's less than $10 a lesson. And sponsorships for the youth sports to buy banners and stuff, nothing has changed. Everything stays the same there. Apparently, the price of banners are not going up. Senior center rental, if you'd like to rent the senior center building, now, how many times would you say over the last year, or is this the first year we're doing the rental?
We had it last year, we just didn't advertise it a whole lot.
And so, but we're raising it before we even know if people want it at this price? I'm just asking like that. That seems kind of silly. If we had nobody rented at that price, why would we add more on?
It was just so cheap. It's for a full day on Saturday or Sunday on a weekend, 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. for the amount of time that it is.
And is somebody required to be there during that time? Are we paying someone?
No.
But we do pay a cleaner, I'm assuming, a
Yes.
cleaning fee.
Mhm.
Okay. It is very inexpensive. It's $250 for the entire day to rent the senior center. Shelter house rentals all stayed the same. Campground, let's talk campground. Did we make any improvements this year? I know previous years we have, but this past year, did we do any, I know we had lots of cleanup from the flood.
Oh, yeah.
We don't need to review that. But have we made improvements? Have we added anything?
Have all new sod and
We did have to resod it. But as far as
No.
luxuries for our campers, have we
No.
added anything?
No, we have not.
And so is the reason for the rates there then, again, just like the cost of living?
Mhm.
First of all, I would just like to pat ourselves on the back because I think rolling the prices back was a good move to begin with because the campground was struggling a little bit when I first started here. We were trying to get back the price in a good spot, and I think rolling them back helped improve attendance, and I think it showed in the overall numbers. The campground did really well for us this year. So I'm okay with the slight increase here, especially after talking to the campground operator, so he seems to be confident in the prices too, so that's where I stand.
Right, and I trust our campground people. Mhm. Okay, anything else on, were there any changes, Tanya, to the campground? I was thinking there was one change of some sort. Like, did we change a premium weekend, or we took one off, or we
Well,
added?
Les and Natalie suggested we make Sunday night a weeknight rather than a weekend rate. Try and encourage people to stay that extra night. Instead of checking out Sunday, they might stay and check out Monday, if that was a weekend rate or weekday instead of a weekend. So you still have Friday and Saturday night. You'd have 2 weekend rates, but then, and that's not including the premium weekends when we have festivals going on. Just trying to improve that rate of stay.
I think that's a good idea. Does anybody have a problem with that, making Sunday a weekday rate?
No, if everybody's leaving anyway, I mean.
Just try and get some people to
get some
stay.
people- yeah.
Yep, do it.
Okay.
Sounds good.
And is the regatta the only one that we require the mandatory 3-night stay? Are there any
Was
other
it?
premium weekends that we
The Labor
require?
Day and Memorial Day?
I know regatta
Yeah.
is the 3.
Yeah.
And that's in the system, reservation system. And I think on the website, it states 3 days on some of the others, but I don't think the system matches it.
Okay, as long as we're not making people do that. I don't like that rule. I don't mind it for regatta, but I don't like it for the other weekends. So you think we're okay, it's just the regatta?
I can confirm that.
Please do.
Regatta, the only 3-day.
Anybody else have a question on the campground before we go to adult sports?
No.
Okay, adult sports, we're not making any changes, no raises, so.
If you
And,
remember, we had just lowered that last year when Christian Cable came to the meeting, and we lowered it from 300 to 150, so
okay.
leaving that the same.
And then we have a couple of adult wellness packages, and we have one of those rates going from 275 to 300. Okay, is there any other discussion about the rates?
I apologize, I mean, I might need to know this answer. What happened to the men's basketball leagues?
They're still playing.
Well, they don't really have a league, but they do men's basketball. You talking about Wednesday night?
Yeah,
We just have a group of guys that play pickup on Wednesdays, and they still play.
Can we start that back up? Are we losing revenue there?
Actually, an actual league hasn't gone on since
yeah, I
before
don't know anything
COVID.
about it.
Yeah, it's never, since I've been here, we've never had one. Okay, so I'm assuming we need a motion to accept those adjusted fees that we talked about.
I'll make a motion.
Don't we have to accept them all?
Yeah, can we do that?
I don't know.
Well,
You're
I-
the
I'm saying we
chair.
can.
Yeah, we haven't approved any of them, so
Yeah,
I
we
mean,
gotta
you can do
approve
it
them
all
all.
at once. I made changes to the three
I'd
you
make
wanted
a
to change.
motion with the designated changes.
There you
I'll
go.
second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. All right, this time we are ready for an operations report from Tanya Burnett.
You have there in your packet the profit and loss statements for Crystal Beach and the campground.
You and these tiny numbers. Do you really think I can read
If
these?
we increase the size, it's going to be on multiple pages, and it's nice to look at it all on one page, I think.
I'm over 60, I can't see. All right,
The
go ahead.
year-to-date net income for Crystal Beach is negative $39,227.85. That's the main number that you want to hear.
Bottom right.
Thank you, because I haven't found it yet.
It's in the
the
bottom
bottom
right
right.
corner.
Oh, yes, okay. And tell me
There.
what that is again?
Year-to-date net income. So that's your profit and loss number. Now, that's not allocations on the reports. I mean, we're good. We're good there. This is just a straight profit and loss, expenses and
So-
income.
But I thought we were close to breaking even. Why is that a negative? Help me, I'm confused.
It's different than your allocations report of what we have allocated for Crystal Beach. Do you want to go there and look at the allocations report?
Yep.
I thought we knew this was coming a couple months ago. Can we talk about this?
Yeah, we've done an additional allocation from the campground to cover some of the payroll expense, and then we're transferring some funds within Crystal Beach to cover part of that. We were over on payroll expense from our allocations. But we're still like 5% left in the allocations, which I don't think that, oh, Shirley's gone. That hasn't been applied yet, right, to that? It's still showing the negative for the payroll. But we did an additional appropriation from the campground to cover that.
So I'm just,
And there's some
Hi.
transfers within, Shirley's here if you want to.
Shirley, Clerk Treasurer Shirley Renierson. So I'm just looking at this paperwork, so it looks like this was pulled, the report was pulled 11/12, but it doesn't show the date that the report was run. Everything has been processed already, so the fund detail history report, I can't look at the profit and loss because I can't verify those numbers, but the appropriation reports, those two appropriation reports that you have, the front page has been cut off, so I don't know what date it was run to. If you look at the top of the fund detail history, that shows it's from date January 1, 25 through 12/31/25. That's the most accurate depiction for that Fund 2226 but that is Community and Development, Senior Citizen Fund. It looks like you got quite a few of those funds that you've pulled, so that's probably the most accurate report. But everything that has been processed and approved is accounted for. I just don't know by not having a date at the top of
Okay.
these.
These are the ones Maddie sent us this morning, and it wasn't showing on there yet, so.
Yeah, if it's,
We did several transfers
yes.
and
Yeah, and it
those
should be
additional
here.
appropriations.
So if you look at where it says additional in that line, you'll see them there. They are there. So I guess I'm not sure what your question is. For which fund are you curious about? So I'm looking at the appropriation report right now that starts out with Sunrise sales tax.
Yeah,
So if you look in the line, 1, 2, 3, 4th column over to the right, you'll see down near the bottom, there's $500 that was additionally appropriated for repair and parts at Sunrise, and $1,000 for Sunrise Sand and Gravel. So the work has been done.
Okay.
The transfers are complete. If you go to the next page, there's some more substantial numbers. Sunrise lease purchase for $68,300. And just above that, we've got one for Sunrise grounds repair for $1,000. So yeah, everything that has been asked of the council to approve, and we've gone through DLGF for additional, it's in this report.
Okay.
So this is, like I said, I can't answer to this, whatever this is. I can just answer to the,
So
Keep
that's
them
just Linda
software.
tracking our income and expenses, because the software that Shirley has in the clerk treasurer's office won't give us a profit and loss statement.
okay. But I can see the percentages that you've taught me to look at, and
Yeah.
those look pretty good.
yeah. So
There's only a
I
few
guess,
negative.
you know, it's cumbersome to do the profit and loss. If that's something that works for your department, I'm behind it, support you. This key fund software reports are the things that we actually are going to refer back to. If we've got negative funds, we're looking at that.
So Tanya, can you or Shirley together both, the last page, very bottom,
Which report?
the appropriations report for Sunrise. Under the subcategory campground unappropriated, all the negatives.
Mhm.
Can you help explain that?
Yes, I can. So the $50,000 there, at the bottom, you'll see some large numbers removed from that. There's $50,000 that was a payback for the loan from the water department at the beginning of the year.
Mhm.
And then we transferred money out of the campground to reallocate to Crystal Beach, Sunrise, and a little bit at Rucker. So that money is taken out of there, and none of those are appropriated. None of those monies that we moved, their income above and beyond what was appropriated for Sunrise, or for the campground. So they don't show. The actual fund balance for the campground is $7,600. So there's still money there. But because we took some of that money that was net profit from the campground, they had to throw it in the report. Am I right, Shirley? You had to put that in the report, but those aren't allocated lines.
So, a couple of things. Yes, campground is completely, she's right with the campground unappropriated where you've got category 6. I think this is 50,000. Sorry, my eyes are
Yes.
for me too. So 50 grand. That is something that is the campground's repaid, that is being repaid for the water sewer loan that was taken. So you're absolutely correct. I'm not clear where you're getting the 7,000, that they have 7,000 on the campground.
In their account right now, you're saying their check
Oh,
balance.
Mindy checked the fund balance for me today, and it was $7,600, which is enough to cover the rest of the appropriated money
lines.
if we did spend it. I don't see us spending that at all because we're closed for the season now.
Okay, but I guess I'm not showing that here in the reporting.
No, she looked it up for me on Keystone. The fund balance, it's not on the report.
Should
it be on the report? Normally,
The way that you have to remember, a fund is the oversight. The fund is going to be okay, negative, or in the plus at the end of the year if your appropriation lines are not overspent. So if you look at this appropriation report and you see negatives, those have to be taken care of before the end of the year.
Right.
Or it's going to affect your fund at the end of the year. So anything that's shown as a negative, we've got to clean it up.
Our appropriations aren't showing negative.
I see this one right here. So you've got campground is showing a negative 12,703.16. There's negatives.
Yes, it is. And there's a negative 11,000 right above it.
I show for fund number 2215 a negative 128,094.
And that's what Mindy just told me today, was all those things I just listed are not actually appropriations. It's just you had to stick it on the report somewhere.
Yeah, that's not gonna.
Okay.
That's not gonna filter into the negative for the total fund. So, your fund report that you guys have just gotten, and I'm not sure, I just got the packet.
We just got them today.
I literally just stole it from Bob, so, if we look at the fund report, you can look right at the fund, just the actual fund report shows everybody's funds. If that's showing negative, some of it's gonna be coming in with county tax money, some of it will be cleared, and I can help you with what we anticipate to get by the end of the year. I do want to caution you, though, if we've got negative appropriation lines, we need to get on those and make sure they're cleared up. So we had a department meeting today, and Bob reminded all the departments to be sure and get those things cleaned up, because if we have to move them and put additional money in these lines, getting it from somewhere else, we have to do a public hearing and get those advertised 10 days before the December 2nd meeting. So I haven't done the math on that, but count out 10 days before December 2nd.
So Tanya, do
These
you know?
negative numbers are not appropriated lines. The up here, these sections where all the appropriations are, none of those are negative. I'm not saying we don't have to clear this up. I understand that part, but we've not overspent at the campground, is what I'm saying.
I think the campground was one of the
Very lucrative.
good ones.
So the numbers at the very bottom are the park department negatives overall? I still just don't understand, like, the Department 28, it's next to the last, on the last page there, with a negative 115.
Shirley, would you do that transfer? Let's just use the 50,000, the payback for the water sewer cap, right?
Right,
You have to put it on this report,
yes, but that's not.
but it's not an appropriation.
That's not gonna calculate into your totals, though. That's not gonna.
None of
calculate
these
into that.
negative numbers are calculated into our
That
totals?
in particular is not going to, because this is stuff that we have got in here, that the way we code it upstairs, it's not calculating it.
And that one is at zero balance. I don't have a problem with that one, because that one is above it. I have a problem with that last little cluster of 1, 2, 3, 4 lines.
Where are you at?
Still on
Still on
Sunrise,
the
the last
campground.
page.
Page 26, okay.
The page that you were on.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I just have a problem with those last 4 lines and those big negative numbers. The 50,000 is above that, and that is at a zero. That one I don't have a problem with. I just want to know what is Department 28 with this big fat ugly number, and what is fund number 2215 with the big fat ugly number?
Mindy told me it was the additional appropriations we just did, that just got approved. And that it would not affect the appropriated lines up here.
But it is affecting the appropriated lines, as
But
I'm
it's
looking
not
at.
an appropriation. Those additional allocations that we did are not, I don't know, I can't tell you any more than that.
Okay, well,
We can figure it out.
Yeah,
I'm just-
Mindy and Shirley.
I'm happy to spend time with you guys. And
I'm just hesitant to,
slow down.
okay, I'll follow up with Shirley, because I need to know why those big ugly numbers are there. Does anybody have any other questions on the appropriations report besides my scary numbers at the bottom?
No, let's just get clarity around that. It sounds like we need a little bit more information.
Yeah, because everything else in the appropriations is in the positive. You can see the percentage left, it's all good. It's just that one page. Okay,
Okay, on to the campground. The profit and loss statement is there, right under the Crystal Beach one. And the year-to-date net income for the campground is $88,340.68. And I did print off a couple reports from Firefly, just that the total occupants, excluding pets, were 2,162 people for the season. We had 148 kids in that number, and there were 441 pets that stayed at the campground this season, which I thought was a neat little tidbit of information. We were at an average occupancy of 22%, so there is a lot of room there during the week to improve the stay, maybe run some more specials. We tried a few, but the total occupied nights was 2,843. And that's on that report there that I gave you. That's all I have for those. Any questions?
I would
Thank
just
you.
like-
Les and Natalie are here, and I just want to thank them for wrapping up such a great season. They did a great job, and
Nice job.
we're happy that they're coming back next year.
I'd like to pursue us using the spot that we don't currently use right next to the bathroom. It's a prime spot, and I'd like it to be unblocked so that people can use it. Is there a reason why we need to leave that extra spot open, Les, that you can think of?
It's one we've never used, like in the reservation.
We used it for our campground hosts for
Yeah.
years and years, but if we're going to put them out in a spot that's a paying spot, then I think we need to open up that spot that was reserved for the campground host. It's just an empty spot. Why not use it? Put a daggone number on it. That just is such a waste. No, because I don't have a problem with you and where you are. I just have a problem with the spot that's not being used, you know? So let's get it into the system, Firefly, and let's use it. Anybody else?
No, I agree.
Okay. I've lost my, there it is, okay. So you're all done with your reports?
I am.
Okay, Mr. Hanson, do you have anything for us?
I don't have a lot for mine. The past month, past 2 or 3 weeks, we've been putting the golf course to bed, aeration, top dressing, trying to put it to bed. We're doing the same thing for city parks, just trying to get weeds out of the way. So I don't have a whole lot of nice stuff to say, but that's trying to put everything to bed. Brett had to leave, so can I go ahead and do her report?
Yes.
Does anybody have any questions about grounds?
Anybody have any questions for Christian?
I enjoyed your aeration video.
Thanks. We're gonna try to do more of those.
Watched it twice.
That was good.
We're gonna team up with Roger and try to do we're gonna try to introduce golf etiquette back to our golf community to see if that'll work.
Good luck.
Yeah, I know. Roger's gonna do a series. We've been working with the communications team about a little bit more educational things about the golf course and maybe just a few things around town, but Roger's got some really good ideas about some of the things that we want to try to see happen at the golf course to maybe if we can't tell them, we can show them. I don't know. We'll
Good.
try a different route, but
Will you do me a favor?
Yeah.
We had that conversation at the last golf board meeting. I would like for you to, where I can, you can say no if you want to, but our water bill is really high. And I'm constantly talking about our irrigation. Would you mind just sort of explaining what's going on with our irrigation in our water system and what's going on and how it's costing us money?
It's very, very old and it leaks everywhere. And we'll fix one leak and we just chase it down the line. A lot of the issues with at Sunrise is the valve system. And a brief tutorial, maybe another video, but you have a main line that laterals off you have a main line run down between 2 holes. It laterals off to a valve. That valve turns on automatically and turns 2 heads on. And there's a series of valves. A fairway could have 7 or 8 valves on it with 8 or 10 heads. Well, when that valve leaks, it seeps. So there's a constant leak going on in that valve. So it makes 2 heads leak. Or the valve could leak. The valve could be bad. There's a multitude of things that can happen. But when you replace one with new, it just pushes the problem further down. So, I mean, there's leaks up there that I can't even see. There's leaks up there that I don't know if it's a spring, I don't know if it's an irrigation head. But they leak everywhere, and we constantly find them, and there's water puddles everywhere. So we try to fix them as we go, but an irrigation head will run you around $300. An irrigation valve will run you around $400, $450. So you can do the math. There's 2,000 irrigation heads on a golf course. There's 150 to 200 valves on a golf course. There's miles and miles of wire and PVC pipe that all deteriorates over time. It all UV affects everything. So it's old, and I don't really want to talk bad about it because we have a special relationship. It's a love-hate
Right.
thing, and it works. We've fixed a lot. We've chased a lot. We've fixed leaks up there that have gone on since 20 years ago when I was playing golf up there all the time. I mean, I know where they are.
I'm not saying anything bad about you or
No,
your crew.
I understand that.
I just- Yeah.
There's things that there's leaks that I don't know. There's leaks that could be just dripping at the bottom of a valve that go straight down, and you never know that it's there.
I just want to make sure we keep it in the forefront. It's been something that I've been,
I think we're all aware that we need a new irrigation system.
Okay.
But I don't need a play-by-play, I don't need the technical stuff.
we're good.
We know we need money
Yes,
to invest. I know. I just don't want to go down a rabbit hole is all I'm saying.
Do we know the last time that the full irrigation system was replaced? Do we have any records?
Never has been. It's the original from 1970, whatever.
There's been pieces and patches.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah, there's been pieces and patches as far as more controllers than heads and valves.
Yeah, Band-Aids.
Brett, any more questions?
No,
Brett's
thanks.
athletic update. Volleyball, we have 2 more game days left. I'm just going to read this.
Sure.
2
Lean
more
into that
game days
microphone when
left
you
of
read it.
volleyball.
Just lean into it a little bit, because,
Is that
thank
better?
you. Yes, thank you.
We have 2 more game days left of volleyball. The season has been successful so far. It is amazing to see the improvement throughout the season and them enjoying the process as well. Championship/tournament is Thursday, November 20th, starting at 5:30 at the Brown Gym. Just on a side note, I happened to be down there the other day when they did their first one, and I used to coach my daughters in volleyball, and to see what she's got back at the volleyball, it's really cool. Brown Gym was packed. Our girls basketball season is underway. Practices are going on right now. They will be practicing or participating in the Jefferson County Hoops League that starts November 23rd. We have 2 third-grade teams, 1 fourth-grade team, 2 fifth-grade teams, and 1 sixth-grade team, a total of 53 girls. Boys basketball, we kicked it off with a boys basketball skills clinic, partnered with the Madison High School boys basketball coach and players on Sunday. This is a 3-week skills clinic, allows for boys grades K through 6 to develop fundamentals that they can take away and practice on their own and to grow their knowledge of the game of basketball. This is the start of getting boys basketball league started with the high school next year. We have 35 boys that came out for this, and they're already had others reaching out so they can sign up for the last 2 sessions. So I saw this one too, and it was a great turnout. And Brett's done a wonderful job. This is just the start of what we had talked about prior, of getting partnerships back in the high school and with the coaches. This was the varsity basketball coach with varsity players helping. We want to do the same thing for football. We want to do the same thing for baseball. This is the start of it. So I commend Brett. She's done a wonderful job with what she's done so far. Some things to look forward to. Cheerleaders will be in the Christmas parade on December the 6th. And for football, Tyler Mack, who was our league director, he's looking to do a skills and development camp this late winter and spring. And again, we've been in contact with the football team and football players to try to we've got really good plans for Madison, the football part of it. So I'll elaborate on that as they come, but that's Brett's.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Roger Gallatin, you're up.
Excuse me.
Okay, biggest part of my thing tonight was the race deal. We've been working on that, pretty much for the last 2 months. So really, I'm just gonna kind of report, the pages that I gave you, kind of an update of what we've done, where we stand. November, kind of some bad weather just came through. 231 rounds, forecasting 932. That's going back probably, I'd say 3 or 4 years to come up with those percentages, rounds. That's what we're trying to grow, to kind of hit the number. But we're right now in November, we're sitting at 3209. Back in October, go to the top. We beat last year's number, still falling short of that. The 33,000 for November was my forecast if we got to 18,000 rounds. So we're still falling short on the volume, which is kind of hurting us on the numbers. Member play, still keeping it a 40% average. That has gone up in the winter months. Obviously, the weekend golfers kind of stop and the members kind of take over the majority of the play there. So far in November, we're up to 50% of our rounds are through member play, and the dollars. The second page, a lot smaller font. This kind of gets into year over, and this is kind of where we, at the golf board meeting, right now, my year-to-date number is 435. Last December, we sold about 85,000 of season passes. So if we add that together, that should give us a year-end total somewhere around 5.25, about 75,000 short of what we were trying to do. Of that 75,000, 39 of it went to pay back the loan. We sold our golf carts, so we did the golf cart deal. We sold the rest of the fleet for 39,000. We had meant to allocate that, so if we would have kept that into ours, that almost cuts that number in half, which puts us at about a $30,000 deficit for the year.
Now remind me, did you donate that to pay off our park deficit, that 39?
Yeah, that was our share of trying to go into that big number.
Okay.
But other than that, to improve those numbers, Christian brought up some of his airifying little video, got some traction. The marketing department really enjoyed that, so we're going to try to do some golf etiquette videos. 30 seconds is kind of the target. You want to keep it under 30 seconds to get people to watch, but we're going to do some. I was talking to the marketing girls out there, fixing ball marks, which is helping maintain the golf course. It's the first thing I do with my juniors. Every junior camp we have is get them down on the 18th green, and I'll have a dozen kids out there with their tees fixing ball marks. I want to show that to all golfers, not just juniors, not just beginners, but there's people that have been playing 20 years that are not good at fixing ball marks. Another common thing in the golf industry, when it's wet or the grounds, we tell people to use the 90-degree rule with the carts. We're going to do a video to try to explain what that is. Basically, it's staying on the cart path longer instead of going straight to your golf ball. We spend a lot of money on the asphalt out there. That's what the 90-degree rule is designed for. It's not something that's just in Madison. It's industry-wide that we use that rule, but there's a lot of people that have no idea what the 90-degree rule is. So just a little short video on that. We will throw some in on some skills, still the same stuff that I'm teaching the juniors, some real simplified stuff, keeping it short, quick, but that's kind of one of my areas that we're going to improve our marketing. Still doing some player passes through out of Louisville. We got several people on that. And I've also seen the Golf Now, the internet tee times have grown a lot. So much so that I don't discount those anymore. The ones that we sell are all booked at our regular rate. I'm even tried to do some goodwill by somebody buys a $45 rate and comes in after 2 o'clock after our twilight. I'll go ahead and give them $5 off and say, come back and see us. So just trying to grow the volume as well as a minimal increase on the rates. Any questions?
No question, but if we summarize this, and your goal was 600,000.
Yeah.
And if you bring in the same amount of early memberships, it's going to get you to 525.
Correct.
And then if we add on the 39,000 that you donated to help pay off our park deficit last year, that only puts you at a $35,000 deficit.
Ballpark. And
Okay.
if we sell more passes, we have some better weather and
Right.
and do better than we did last December. I'm quoting off of historical numbers.
Okay.
So yes, you're correct.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks, Roger.
All right. Brett Ricketts, your turn.
All right. So I'll start out with this month at the Senior Center, well, October, we served 128 meals. The produce program we had going on through Lifetime, the funding's ended, so that program is on hiatus now until sometime in the future. Last month, we had 18 seniors travel to Brown County State Park and Nashville, Indiana. Today, we actually went bowling in Vivi and ate at the Mexican restaurant there, so that's why I was a little late today. Next month, we are planning on going to Lights Under Louisville at the Mega Cavern. That should be fun. The seniors started a new board game group, and they've been averaging like 6 to 8 each week, so that's going pretty well. They'd like to get 15 or 20 if they could, but it's a good start. That's pretty much it for the Senior Center. I know earlier you were bringing up about rentals, and I think for the year, I've probably rented the Senior Center somewhere like 5 to 8 times this past year. I just don't think people know about it. But one family's rented it multiple times, so once people realize, I think that raising the rates is a good idea. So, as far as the community events, the Harvest Festival went great. I'm thinking there were somewhere between 1,500 to 2,000 people that showed up. Everyone had a good time. There were people that were kind of disappointed that we didn't have the hayride this year, but we just ran into some issues. But I think next year, I'm thinking we could use the trolley line instead of the hayride, and then we also wouldn't have to close Vaughn Drive to get people to go down to the campground for trick-or-treating. It's just, I didn't have the funds raised to do that, so I wasn't okay with going forward. I think too, we can make this footprint smaller and move the food trucks to the south side of Vaughn Drive instead of having them over in the Legacy parking lot. So I think there's changes that could make it better for everyone. So right now I'm working on Light Up Madison, which is November 28th. Santa will be there, the Grinch will be there. I'm working on getting Santa's Cottage up in front of the Comfort Station. So hopefully in the next week, that'll be up there and ready for Santa to visit. Then I'm currently also working on the Christmas parade and Christmas celebration on December 6th. So we're going to have bouncy houses, slide, like 9 food trucks. The farmer's market will be set up. I'm trying to get some other things too. We'll just have to see if that happens. Santa will be there, the Grinch. So, any questions?
No questions, but I like the hayride. I was there last year when they did it, and I'd love to see that come back. I know this year the guys who drive the tractors for us were at a wedding of a staffer, and that's why we couldn't do it, which is fine, but I would encourage you to consider bringing that back.
Okay.
I mean, the lines were long, and it was busy all day long, and I don't think closing Vaughn Drive is such a bad thing when you have 500 to 700 kids running around. If there's no traffic, I think that's a safety issue that just kind of takes care of our safety issue. And then secondly, for the Light Up Madison, I would love for us to consider having a few more things like you go and Bob turns on the lights and then it's like, oh, it's pretty. Okay, now we go home. Like maybe some Christmas carolers or something like, different churches could take a shift of 30 minutes or whatever. And I'd like to just see us add more to that event to make it more family-focused and actually extend it a little bit more than just the 5 minutes it takes to turn on the lights or whatever, just for the future.
Yeah, we will be having carolers from Trinity. They'll have carolers, and then also they will be offering hot chocolate and crafts for kids.
Okay,
So, and then Santa is also going to visit them after light up. And then Steel and Steam are also going to set up and have coffee available and cider, so.
Trinity did that last year for the first time, and it was very well attended. I mean, it was packed in there.
see, and I was there and I didn't even see that. So like maybe it's just a matter of getting the word out. Because I just kind of stepped out, watched the lights come on, and then went, because I didn't know there were other things going on. Okay, thank you, Brett. Does anybody have any questions for Brett?
I apologize if this was covered, but are we going to market the rental of the senior center?
Well, and that's one reason we didn't have it on the software where you could do it online. It was just all through Brett, but we're working on getting it added to Rec so people can do it online like they do Hunter Hall and all
Will
that
it be in here
contract.
also?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Put it in there.
Yeah, we can add it.
Yeah, I mean, put it everywhere. I mean,
Mhm.
if it may not, add to any, but,
Yeah. Yeah, we can stick it in there for sure.
Okay.
Anything else for Brett? Okay, thank you, Brett.
All right, thank you.
Yes,
You talk about the hayride.
come on up to the mic, Les.
It won't last that long.
I just want them in TV land to be able to hear you.
I just want to say, the best I could count, of the kids coming through the campground without the hayride, we had between 85 and 100.
Okay,
And Natalie had asked how many people were going to decorate. She got 13 responses, I think. And there weren't very many decorated up, and like I say, there's only 85 to 100 kids.
okay. Thank you.
Yep.
All right, at this time, we will open it up for public comment. I have a couple of questions that Ms. Vitris had sent to me that I'd like to see if you can answer for her. Go ahead, Lisa, and I'll get my questions ready.
Lisa Ferguson, 718 East Second. One of the things that I brought up to you all the past couple of meetings when we were talking about Crystal Beach is going ahead and offering the passes, going ahead and telling us when is opening day. All those things. It's like we don't want to know it in May. We want to know it in January because you plan vacations. You kind of get ready for things. One of the other things I brought up, because where we moved from, if you were from that county, it was cheaper for you to go to the pool. Now, that meant that when I got a pass, it said Lisa Ferguson lives in Boone County, Kentucky. If you live somewhere else, it costs you more money. So I've just listened to you all say we're going to raise the rates on the seniors, or mostly it's going to affect people who live here all the time. And we've talked to many people. Most of you did not go to the pool all summer long because you have jobs. I went to the pool 5 days a week, so I know a lot about the pool. And we talked to tons of people who said, I can't believe I get to go to the pool for $7. It's kind of like what Roger says about the golf course. Once people get here, it's cheap, y'all. It's cheap compared to where we moved from. But you just raise rates on everybody else that's pretty much going to come to the pool anyway, and not the people who come from Louisville, Trimble County. I mean, we had people from Warsaw, from where I'm from, that were here 3 days a week. I would see them. And I'm like, they were shocked, really. It's $7, and you just pay $7 too. I'm like, well, I got a senior pass but because I'm old. But I just think, I bought that up a couple months ago. It goes to deaf ears. But, sometimes the best way to get more money is not from us that live here. It's from the people who are coming into here. And we don't seem to hear that. I know Roger sees that at the golf course. Charlie's working at the golf course. He goes, don't get up and talk at the golf board meeting. I love my job. I don't want to fire me. Because he loves being up there with Roger. But a way to look at things is other people. I mean, we're a tourist town. We all know that. Bob will tell you, we made $61 million 2 years ago in tourism. So we got tons of people coming here. And it's cheap to come here. So there's a line of when is it too cheap? When are we not going to make money anymore? And I know that's what y'all talk about the golf board too. But sometimes, if you're living here, there should be an advantage to living here. Charlie's a big proponent of the golf course that he was a member of there. They don't aim to make money in Boone County. It's a service to the county. It's what you get for being a resident there. And it's a big push on Roger to try to, make that budget. But what budget does anything else have to make around here? The senior center doesn't bring money in. They're using it every single day. Pickleball is the only people that pay on a regular basis, and that's not going really well because I guess the reports don't get in, and people come in and go, I paid, and it's like, well, your name's not on the list. So, but just look at, sometimes I think charging people $10 when you come from Louisville is okay. And it's a heartache to try to figure it out. But if you get a membership, there's an advantage to membership. She's already looked and said, hey, I know Lisa, she lives on 2nd Street, so I can pay that amount. And we're just not charging people who are coming into this community. And you see that, like, Mad Hop went from $40 to $80, you guys, and they sold it like crazy this weekend. There's outside money we're missing out on, but we're charging our citizens more every time we come to a different meeting. Pickleball's going up, golf's going up, all the things that we use daily is going up, but we're not getting it from the outsiders. And I just think that's something that needs to be looked at, but it's too late for this year. Maybe we'll remember it next year.
I think one of our concerns on that is the manpower to determine, like, everyone would have to bring their driver's license with them every single day. And like, you don't take your phone or anything to the pool. That's one of the things, I don't either. I don't take my wallet to the pool. And then the amount of time it's going to take to process every person digging through their purse to get out their ID, it's stuff like that. And that we have high school kids that run that front desk for the most part. And so those are some of our concerns on, charging and verifying that someone's from out of town. I'm not making an excuse, I'm just saying those are things we've talked about. Okay, so these are questions that Jan had sent me through email that I need help answering. So the first one, I know we don't have the answer, but we'd like at the next meeting to know the total passes sold. I know you gave it to us at some point from Rec. Can you bring it again, and can it be posted on the website for everyone to see? So how many senior passes did we sell? How many punch passes? How many admissions? All those. Please make it public record for everyone to see. Can you tell us approximately how many times Hunter Hall has been rented? How many half-day rentals? How many full-day rentals? Are they weekdays? Are they weekends? Whatever. Spear Aquatics. So we did pay, Spear is the people that built our pool. And we did pay a fee for them to open and close our pool. Part of that is because we have new people in positions of power. So the people that learned all that stuff the first time no longer work here. So we sent 3 of our staffers to pool school last week, and they got certified. And so we are hoping, if I understand correctly, Mr. Hanson, you can correct me, at some point we're hoping we won't need Spear to do all of that for us, and we'll be able to take care of more of it ourselves. Is that correct?
There's things we can do ourselves, but we can't completely open and close the pool ourselves.
So that's something that will always be in our budget then?
Correct.
Okay. Do we have we heard from FEMA on any relief that we're getting for the flood? Mayor, can you answer that question?
We're still working through that.
Okay, so we're just waiting for the federal government to get back to us. We've made all of our pleas.
We have had multiple meetings with them. A couple things on that front. We had a lot of damage, significant damage to our riverfront property, as you know. And through that whole transition period, we also have a new governor. And there's also a lot of just national things happening relative to FEMA and emergency management. So it's been a very long, drawn-out process with multiple meetings here by our staff as well as the county staff with the Indiana DHS and FEMA. That we're still trying to work through that.
Okay.
And there are claims, and there's insurance claims, but it's going to continue to take some time. So the answer is we're working through it, but we don't have anything definitive yet.
I don't have a ton of experience with FEMA, but the one time I was involved in something, it took forever to get the money, to get the funds through FEMA, and I mean a long time. So if we can just keep up to date on that and not forget it, because it does take forever.
We had some disaster mitigation funds and reserves that we used to make repairs to the riverfront and the park property, but there's still lingering long-term repairs that we have to make, and we're hoping to recover those funds from FEMA and replenish the disaster mitigation, and then have a capital plan for the other improvements that need to be made on the riverfront. But I would just also say that our staff did a remarkable job recovering from that flood. And within a very, very short period of time, Vaughn Drive was reopened, our parks were reopened. The pool had a slight delay, it was reopened, had a phenomenal season. Hargan Matthews was very hard hit and still has hundreds of thousands of dollars of damage on it, but we were still able to make interim repairs to get the park reopened. And then now we have, new capital coming in for the revitalization of Welch Park. So, there's still a lot of lingering things, and we're not in control of receiving those funds, but we are in control of how we respond to those emergencies and how do we get life back to normal in Madison, and I think that our team did a phenomenal job of doing that.
I think so too.
Yeah. While I'm here, can I
Yes,
say something?
absolutely.
And you may not be finished with some of those Q&As, but while I'm here, we've come a long way in the last few years, and I don't want us to lose sight of that. What the condition of our parks were as recent as 4 or 5 years ago, what the condition of the golf course was and still is, the operational challenges that we had, we've come a really, in my opinion, phenomenal way through your all's efforts, through parks management. We've had to try to invest in programming at the same time we create capital plans and do improvements. And just in the last 3 years, we've made $15 million of park improvements. Add in Welch Park, which is going out to bid in December. You add in the trail project, which is underway, and in a short period of time, we're at $20 million. Take a guess of how much more park investments we are at a critical juncture and need to make. Just a guess.
It's depressing, I don't want to know.
$25 million. So, and just to, like I said, within the next year, we'll be up to $20 million in new park improvements. We have $25 million of capital planning that we still have to make. And the reason I want to bring it up is because Jake was asking about the irrigation earlier, and that's a really valid point. And you were asking about Crystal Beach and whether or not, we need to have spears open and close. Well, there are life cycle costs with all of these capital investments, all of these big major park investments that we have to budget for and ask our communities to support along the way. And then we have to be willing to make these other capital investments when the useful life of some of these facilities end. And we're there with the majority of them now. So the golf course has to have a major investment in it. That irrigation system is probably 40 years old, and we put Band-Aids on it every single year, and our operational costs for the golf course that we keep challenging Roger with go up and up because of aged infrastructure. But for the last 2 years, just to give you a little bit of insight of how much effort it takes to get to a point where you might be able to make some investment, it takes 2 years. 2 years of planning. We just went through a major property tax reform. That took a year to get through, and now we're digesting that. We're figuring out what does that mean relative to our ability to raise the money necessary for new investment in Rucker and in the golf course and in the Brown Gym and in our tennis courts and in our other open park spaces and new parks to deal with changing demographics and growing community. But we're going to get there. I'm very optimistic about it because we have great people who are figuring these things out. But we're doing, if you just see what we're doing, and this is what I want the community to understand. We are expanding and enhancing programming at the same time we're investing in our parks. And that coincides with the quality of life efforts that we have in the city. And I think we're doing a really good job. We have great amount of work yet to do. But what we'll be bringing through council, through the Parks Commission, hopefully in the next 6 months, is another capital plan on how are we going to make those investments in Rucker to enhance its play and extend its life another 50 years. Same thing with the golf course. And I know you're also working on John Paul Park. But we have a tremendous amount of park assets in our community that are phenomenal. they add to our quality of life, but they require significant investment. And we're not going to let the community down. We have plans for those, and we're going to ask for everybody's support because it's so critical to our community. So, but I just want to just compliment you guys and park staff because they are figuring out how do we do those things all at the same time, and it's much easier, honestly, to kind of defer things. It's a lot harder, but more important when you attack it with the plans that we've done, and we have some, like I said, we have some great examples. Gaines Park, Oak Hill Park, Crystal Beach, now Welch Park, and also the trail, Heritage Trail under construction. And Carla and I have regular conversations about this next list of priorities that is going to be phenomenal for the city of Madison. And the Brown Gym, we can't let it suffer because it's 100 years old this year. It's a century. We're celebrating the 75th anniversary of the Madison Cup Championship in 1950 and the 100th anniversary of the Brown Gym. So my challenge for everybody here in this room is by the end of this year, we have got to have a solid rehabilitation plan to announce by the end of this year for the Brown Gym. It's got to happen. And it's just
By the end of 2025.
by the end of this year.
You're freaking me out now. Okay. Are you done?
I didn't say you have to have the money in the bank. We have to have the plan. It all starts with a good plan, but by the end of this year, we are going to have a plan. What do y'all want to do with the Brown Gym?
Let me know when that's done, Carla.
Yeah.
I'll be waiting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
That's
it's all
stressing me
possible.
out.
So I'm just listening to all of the granular detail you're getting into tonight. I'm grateful for, because it's those types of details that creates the sustainability for our parks. And we don't want to just stay even. We want to keep elevating everything that we do. But we've got some great successes that I think are giving us a lot of momentum heading into 2026. I'm happy to answer any questions if you guys got any.
Good. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
Courtney.
Thanks, Bob.
Phil, do you need to duck out? Because I
No,
know you
good.
have a commitment. Okay. Couple other questions that Jan had. She was asking about food purchases in October. I can tell you that we have been running the football league at Rucker, and so they've been having concessions there. We also run concessions at the Brown Gym, and then Roger has his concessions at the golf course. So we have 3 areas that we're still selling food from. And then her last question was, who does the marketing and social media for Crystal Beach? All of that goes through our communications director, Hannah Mahoney. Okay. I hope I covered most of your questions.
Yes, I'm Jan. I would just like to say, I really do appreciate the work that you've done. It would be nice to know if there is a way. I know the golf board is more formalized, but it's still a bunch of guys that have always gotten together. Lisa and I would very much like to be part of that for Crystal Beach. We have got ideas on how to increase revenue at Crystal Beach. Could we please meet with a small group of us with whoever is managing Crystal Beach to come up with ways to sell more passes, to get more revenue, to expand hours so working people can actually use it, and to market it better? It's a big secret. So,
I'll be happy to listen to you two ladies and your suggestions. Just keep in mind the costs involved, the staff involved. You guys have great ideas, but a lot of times they're unrealistic with the amount of people we have working. Like right now in the park staff, our entire staff, I think, is 10 right now to run 3 parks.
Right.
Less than 10. I'm just saying, just keep in mind great ideas, but make them realistic things that we can do with a very small amount of money and staff.
right.
But I'll be
Well,
happy to
yeah,
sit and listen.
That's why the first thing I did was get the financials.
Yeah.
And I want to really compliment you because your revenues for Crystal Beach, if I added them up correctly, were $284,000, and your payroll cost was only $150,000. So you are managing expenses well, which means we need to increase revenues. And I didn't hear any targets, unlike the campground and the golf course. So we'll be happy to work with you, and we can make it as easy as possible. to actually make it even more successful than it is. But it's a great resource, and we thank you.
Thank you. And thank you for your passion for the Madison Parks. Anybody else from the public that would like to speak? All right, our next meeting is Wednesday, December 3rd at 4 o'clock. You're welcome to attend. Can I get a motion?
I'll make a motion.
All those in favor to adjourn, say aye. Aye. Thank you.